involves securing talent.
Pirate Software mentions that CS was cut down by 60% after they automated item recover. And this is actually like such a great data point, I think, because a lot of people are looking at AI as if it's like some kind of new thing. But I think that in terms of machine automation that's replacing tech jobs, like that's insane. Like that's over half of the people.
Main system
Holy
activating
fuck.
combat
That's
mode.
crazy. AI is just automation, yeah. And so like we talk about AI as kind of like unique evil, but this type of behavior where effectively you're automating functions that people used to do is very common. 60%.
Enemy attack! 1AC!
Strike the Archivist retired to the muzzle.
First.
An independent mercenary, huh? At least they didn't send the Vespers.
Intercepting!
They're just mass-produced MTs.
I think that also another reason for that is that a lot of the people that were making these videos are and
This AC pilot's sharp.
there's only so
Focus
many
your
jobs
fire!
you need for like a social media marketing person. You only need, you know, 3 tech-savvy 24-year-old girls
Effort,
on
turn
your
through
social
it.
media presence. So
Damn it.
when you have
Archivist really
50
scored this time.
new ones every single year, where are all these girls going to go? What are they going to do? Well, everybody has a social media person now, so like, fuck, now it's oversaturated. Because you got to keep in mind that like a lot of kids, like, a lot of young people, like let's say you graduate high school in 2015.
It's like reinforcements.
Well, by the time that you get all the way through high school, so like you're in the job market, and it was happening in the market. So people probably saw that and they said, wow, Google's awesome. You can just go and take a nap and work all day and you can play paintball. I want to go work at Google. So they get a career, they get a degree, it's going to get them a job at Google. And then by the time that happens, a really fucking the same exact thing. They're like, yeah, everybody else did this too. It's sort of like, I bet you guys ever seen this happen in video games where like a farm for like an item or like a resource gets discovered, and then at the beginning you're making a lot of money with it, and then after other people get into the market, the profit margins like completely plummet. Right? It gets nerfed. Well, it doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't get nerfed. Right? It gets nerfed by supply and demand. Because the supply is just so high, there are so many of these things being pushed out onto the market that the price margins go lower, right? PoE is a great example of this, and yeah, like market flooding, right? And so this happens even in video games. It happens as big as in economies. I actually think that, yeah, troll necklaces and hardcore WoW, perfect fucking example, great example. I actually think that, I've said before, like, I learned more about economics and business and WoW than I did from going to college, right? And I really think that you can learn a lot of these different topics. You can learn them in, like, a very hands-on way. You know, like, you get to understand, like, why are monopolies bad? Let's find out why. Let's see what happens when you have a monopoly. Yeah, it's a simulation. It is. It's very interesting. I love it.
This microphone thing, I mean, it's ridiculous. So
Yes.
I'll put a link
Exactly.
to a mic stand in the video description to help out any of my younger viewers who aren't familiar with how that works.
Yeah.
The tech sell-off of 2022 led tech companies to evaluate their workforces and realize that they had a lot of dead wood. And if they had leaner
Yeah.
organizations, they could be more profitable. And as they cut staff, their stock prices started to rise.
Big surprise.
According to the Washington Post, as stocks have risen, spirits in the San Francisco Bay
Probably
Area,
going
the
down.
heart of the US tech industry, have only fallen further.
I bet.
The layoff announcements from
Yeah, because it was a gravy train. Like, they were, bro, you can't expect to go to work and have catering for 2 meals a day.
Got a job for you,
You work
621.
40, like, I told my friend, like, so I have a friend, and, you know, like, we've known each other 20 years, right? And we originally became friends because we would fight over who knew more about Lord of the Rings. It was me, by the way, I did know more. But he has a job now in IT. And man, bro, like, he's making well over 100K. He's
Main
remote
system
work.
activating
So, like,
combat
remember that
mode.
thing that happened with, what was that company where, like, all the servers went down?
We've got a read on the target.
woke up like
Now's
he
the
didn't have
time,
to call in till
621.
like 10. He woke up, he's like, damn.
Under attack!
Fix now?
Must be the locals.
All right, y'all still fix now? Okay, all right. CrowdStrike, yeah, exactly. Like this dude, like he's talking about vacations to fucking Japan. He's talking about going to Chicago. He's talking about going to concerts.
Enemy
He's
AC destroyed.
working 30 hours a week,
That's it for this job,
maybe.
621.
He's making all this money. I was telling him, I was like, bro, like you gotta watch out. Like I don't know what's gonna. Is this really gonna last for very long? Like, is this really like, yeah, you gotta worry about this because, like, I mean, you know, they're gonna be looking to try to get that money back. And so I would be worried. Is this rerun? No, I've said it before. I have. And it's the same thing. Yeah, he's making enough money for it. He is. But what I'm saying is that when you're in a job that has a very, like, there are very low demands in the job, you can pretty much assume that you're not going to have that job for very long because somebody's going to figure that out. They're gonna see you, right? You're like that fucking homeless guy in McDonald's who's trying to not get noticed by the manager after he set up his 3 PC, fucking 3 monitor, 2 keyboard fucking setup in the McDonald's lobby, hoping that the fucking manager doesn't see him. You're that guy. Because you've got it made. You're getting free Wi-Fi, free drinks, free fries. You just walk over and eat somebody's food when they leave. You're getting everything. In Milton from Office Space, exactly. So yeah, when you don't have anything to do, you should worry about it. I remember, like, you know, when I worked seasonally for the IRS, I knew that, you know, if we came to the office and we only worked for 3 hours a day, they're about to lay people off. Like they're about to send people home. Like that's it. That's just what's gonna happen, because like they don't need us. That's it. They're called bullshit jobs. Well, I mean, it expands and contracts over time.
Big tech companies all contain variations on the theme of we hired too many people during the boom years.
100%.
While things are tough in the tech sector, the BLS data shows that the ratio of job openings to job seekers is still quite good. There are 8.2
Now they're asking
million
for you
job
by
openings
name.
in the United States and only 7.1 million job seekers.
Yeah, the problem is the job openings are for like you need somebody for Baskin Robbins. There's someone who needs to turn big rocks into little rocks on the side of the road in Arizona in July.
Main system activating combat mode.
Yeah.
Commence mission. Destroy the Rubicon Liberation Front transport choppers.
We're under attack. The corporate.
Confirmed. Transport chopper down. Keep at it, 621.
Areas where the big tech companies their woke policies as part of their cost cutting.
What is this?
Started abandoning them.
Laid off a team devoted to diversity, equity, and inclusion after $20 million.
There, take it out.
Hostile AC! Defend our supplies! Our comrades on the Strider can't wait any longer! Yeah, corporation.
Like it doesn't like there's no like
Target
there's no
destroyed.
one-to-one where like
On to
having
the next
DEI
targets.
causes the company to make more money. Okay, well, that's not happening. And also another reason is that a lot of investment firms have moved away from and are moving away from investing because of DEI. So in the past, where this would invest investment capital, that's less true now. So there's no reason to do it because they
Their woke
Yeah.
cutting. The New York Post reported that Microsoft laid off a team devoted to diversity, equity, and inclusion after spending millions of dollars on the initiative. One of the signs of an overhiring may be the woman that they hired meet after the property title before a meeting.
First, we want to acknowledge that the land where the Microsoft campus is situated was traditionally occupied by the Sammamish, the Duwamish, the Snoqualmish, the Suquamish, the Muckleshoot, the Snoqualmish, the Tulalip, and other post-Salem people with time immemorial.
Maybe I should look up who owns it.
Yeah. Yeah, big surprise they got rid of that. Because it creates no value, nobody actually cares about it, and it doesn't matter. It's amazing that we went through such a collective cultural delusion into acting like that kind of stuff mattered for as long as it did. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it happened. Yeah, we still got that woke shit in Canada. It's annoying as fuck. Yeah, I know. It's amazing that it lasted as long as it did. But yeah, of course people want to do it.
I don't know how. Anyway, last year, Alphabet and Meta, or Google and Facebook, reduced the scope of their TV programs and cut staff.
We're not done here yet.
Zoom, Snap, Tesla,
Check your marker,
DoorDash,
621.
Lyft, and Wayfair have also downsized their DEI teams.
Because it doesn't create value. Pushing a cultural agenda will not make your company more money. And the company is more than willing to do this in the cases where everybody's making money and everything is doing fine and you're growing 20% year over year and everybody's happy. But the problem is that whenever you're not, those people are the first ones to go.
This reports that DEI
Because they create no
job
value.
postings have declined by 44% by mid-2023.
That's a good
compared
start.
to the same period in 2022.
Yep.
Despite these layoffs, Microsoft hopes that their diversity and inclusion commitments remain unchanged.
Of course. Like, I mean, they're
Marin-
not gonna, and this is the thing, they're not gonna say we don't like women. We're pro-state. Of course they're not gonna say that. They don't care. They never cared in the first place. Their job.
Here, fight back!
wrote in Bloomberg earlier
We're no match
that
for an
ESG and
AT.
DEI policies have
Have no
turned out
fear.
low interest rates
The quarrel is with us.
good.
Base.
Looks like they've got a bounce
She
Tetrapod.
highlighted
Absolutely.
It's a cut above the other
across both
MTs.
the public and
Ignore it and
private
focus on the
sector.
mission.
In the UK, the financial reporting system just under governance and BlackRock
ATS overload?
Behaviors, but he's had to walk that back a lot.
Got the Tetrapod.
Like, yeah, he's apparently
natural,
this is
this
like
621.
that sounds great, but then they started actually losing money.
Looks like you got them all.
And the thing is, like,
That's it for this job, 621.
he's in
Return to
charge
base.
because he's making money. So if you're losing money, why are you here?
Mentions of DEI and ESG in company earnings calls have plummeted too since interest rates started to rise, as has their prominence in corporate presentations. A recent paper from the University of Copenhagen suggests that even amongst retail investors, ESG investing is a luxury good, where demand for it increases disproportionately with the scale of inherited wealth. Tech, just like finance, can be a boom and bust industry, where workers are paid well, but there is a lot of career volatility. People who have been in either industry
like
for a
screaming.
full market cycle are usually aware of this and know to save their money when the times are good.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of a story a friend told me of hiring.
Yeah, my mom growing up, she was a freelance writer, and it was always like, and she was not, my mom was not a money saver.
Gunther.
She was I got a new job, it's time to get a new computer. I got a new job, it's time to order pizza. I got, like, this is what it was, right? And so it would be feast and famine, right? There would be sometimes that she would just have all
Main
this,
system
yeah, you
activating
want an
combat mode.
expo? Oh, yeah, sure, why not, right? It's not a big deal. And then the other
Group
times,
AC
it's
Squad
like,
Red
no,
Guns
we
reporting
can't
for duty.
afford to get a
Commence
Coke
mission.
at McDonald's. It's $1.
Attack!
We need that.
Get in there, you maggots!
Great. An independent merc. Who's the wise guy who decided the Red Guns should be taking care of some freelancer?
That he found himself making
gives a
offers to
shit?
the type of
We'll handle this
candidate
mission
that he would have
ourselves.
never
One target destroyed.
Hey, freelancer. Then no one even told you why we're here.
have. He then
Well,
led
looks
off.
like you Red Guns are gonna go climb the wall.
During the UN
This is just target practice. When we're done, the locals will finish this next.
Gunfire! Can't take yourself away from chatting with a tag-along? Why don't you start a sewing club together and stitch that damn mouth of yours shut? 2 targets destroyed. How about that? Guess you're not a total amateur.
Because
Good
somebody will
for.
find
Can't
out
say I considered you a pro
and they'll
either.
fix the glitch. And
We
they'll stop
don't need
paying you.
backseat drivers in
And
the
you're
red
gone.
guns. Shape up or ship out.
Unless it's government work.
621.
No, even if
Eradicate
the
the
government
frontline
happens.
MTs.
Sometimes. It depends.
How national importance in the tech
Freaking me
industry
out, yeah.
shot up by 36%, according to Federal Reserve data. Average weekly wage for
That's insane.
Added
That takes care of the frontline MTs.
total private
That was just the warm-up.
When
Look
the
alive,
dot-com bubble
maggots!
burst, technology
Wait,
sector
621.
employment
I'm
declined
receiving a
rapidly,
coded
with
transmission.
significant net job losses for 4
Raven,
years.
I
By the
represent
time
the
it bottomed
Rubicon
out in
Liberation Front.
2004, the sector's
Our
workforce
request is
shrunk
simple.
by almost 80%,
We want you to take out
and
the 2
tech
red guns.
employment declined to 3.4%
Our compensation will be double Balaam's offer. Awaiting your response.
From 2010 through to 2020,
Interesting.
job growth in the
Your
tech
call,
sector
621.
once again hugely outpaced job growth in the rest of the economy. And most
Your cooperation is
under the
appreciated,
age of
Raven.
25 never slowed
621.
The
We've received a friendly ID tag
That's
from
why
the
they got
Liberation
into
Front.
it. Is because, like, again, like,
Let's
for
not
me,
waste their
I know even whenever
firepower.
I was graduating, right? Like, I graduated in 2000. And so, for me, a lot of my friends all wanted to
What are you doing? They bought you up, didn't they? That's a loud blow, Andrew Walter. Gun 4, Gun 5, return fire! It looks like Gun 13's playing dirty now.
I'm not taking any more of your shit. I already get enough from Michigan every day of the week.
AP at 50%. AP at 50%. AP at 30%. No repair kits remaining.
Damn it. I've been hit bad. Freelancer got lucky.
Niklasu! How many ranks below you is Gun 13? You can count, right? Don't take too long figuring it out. It's a lot. You dumbass, Niklasu. You can't walk the walk.
Left-hand ammunition, right-hand ammunition at 50%.
This sparks something else. Where did Michigan find this?
Left shoulder, right shoulder ammunition at 50%. AP at 30%.
Losing control of my machine. No choice but to withdraw. Confirmed. Gun 4 and Gun 5 eliminated.
High-profile tech firms,
You can
they
bill
are
me for the
happening
AC
in
repair
every
fees,
department.
Michigan.
According to
Yeah,
Rob,
You've
probably
ruined our
happens
little
with some
field
people,
trip,
some
Walter.
that it
I'll be
doesn't, they
billing
don't
you
wanna
for
train
tuition
anymore.
fees, too.
Like, I mean, if y'all had times, like, another WoW analogy is, like, there have been many times where we had somebody re-roll rather than recruiting somebody that was like a monk or somebody that was a warlock or something, right? It's better to have somebody that you know that's good that will re-roll and play this other class rather than, like, just bringing in an entire new person. So, yeah, of course it's true. Training people sucks. Yeah, sometimes it's a good idea, sometimes it's not.
half.
So what do you need? Yeah, exactly.
You got
A
some
sizable portion of the layoffs at Big Tech have not
Bro,
been
did the WoW now? I did.
professionals,
True.
but those in other departments. 365 Data Science looked into which roles were most affected by the tech layoffs and found that HR specialists and recruiters made up almost 28% of the layoffs. They all
Fuck needs an HR specialist. Like, this is the problem. Is like people like that. I think that they think that they're very necessary. But when you look at the amount of money the company makes and you look at where the money comes from, you realize that that's not really actually true.
also found that this group was finding replacement jobs most quickly. This makes a lot of sense, as these people are not really tied to the tech industry. They can work at any big firm. The researchers found that 19% of the laid-off tech workers who found new jobs had moved to smaller software development firms, and 13% had moved to internet companies. They found that the majority of rehired workers continued their careers outside of tech. Among them, 10% moved to financial services, 8% moved to the services industry, 7% to consulting, 6% to manufacturing, and 34% to other industries.
Damn.
Because the majority of tech jobs are outside of the tech industry,
Time for a
and
little
tech
self-
skills are still in high demand in other industries, many of these people are doing just fine, but possibly struggling a bit with the culture clash of no longer getting to play ping pong and eat free berries in the office.
Who the like? It's amazing to me. Who thought this was gonna last?
Main
Of
system
course this wasn't
activating
going to
combat mode.
last. Duh.
Commence mission.
Unfortunately,
First, get through all that dust and make contact with the Strider.
Unidentified AC. Must be one of the corporation's dogs. Activate the eye. Burn them away.
Layoffs. These people
Yes,
are
sir.
mostly
Sure.
high
Abide with
with a lot of
Rubicon.
work experience, and will have
Abide
to
with
see
Rubicon.
the job market or career. A study from the tech sector jobs have started spreading out around the country since the pandemic. San Francisco and San Jose disappeared from the list of metro
All right, now you're up close and
areas with
personal.
the highest share of
Take out one of its legs and bring it to a halt.
They evaded the eye laser.
This is fucking
All hands,
expensive to be in
prepare
San
for close
Francisco,
range combat.
and apparently it's a PvP server. I look over there, bro. I feel like I'm watching The Walking Dead. Holy shit! Who the fuck would want to be there? Yeah, it's no way, and it's expensive. You gotta pay extra to deal with zombies. What the fuck? No, that's awful. It's a terrible idea.
Confirmed. Strider leg compromised. It's going down. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. All right, now we've got a foothold to get on the deck. Grab on and get to work on the subject.
That AC crowd's no rookie.
Companies are not just
We can't take any chances. Decouple the rear.
job market.
They're trying to cut and run. Head to the midship 61. Don't let them go.
For a pandemic era surge,
We can't shake the enemy AC! Remember, we fight for the coral.
this phenomenon
Defend the sub-generator.
is being seen mostly in how its economy rebounds from the pandemic. Europe, and now that
Sub-generator destroyed. 3 to go.
Pandemic is that you're obviously going to hire a lot of people. But when you're running a company, how can I make it to where I don't have to hire a lot? How can I make it to where I can just have this happen and complete this task without having somebody that I need to pay them to do it?
Remember the hardships that made us.
Absolutely.
Remember, and when
During
Rubicon burned, we
was getting
endured.
a chunk of compensation for job, which a lot of hyper like to think of as being free rather than as a deferred expense that's eventually
We're losing the shield, Doug.
Just one left.
which have to
Strider
happen
is the
at things like
flagship of our
sales
war.
to keep their share count
Hold the
from
line.
rising.
Defend the ship with your line.
Bloomberg reported today that insiders in the legacy sector tech companies have been selling their shares after 9 years without any sale. Senior management made less than the magnificent
All sub-generators destroyed. The ice shield is offline. And now you've got the target in your sights. Time to finish this, 621.
Significant damage!
We're not more to get. Throw them off.
Guys, guys, in a critical state!
How can this
Sir, no response from the eye!
No. We can't lose the Strider.
Confirmed. Target destroyed.
And Apple chairman Arthur Levin filed in February to sell
And it looks like all that energy it was sucking up has nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, having
Move
seen
621.
bets like that
You need to get
definitely
clear of the
doesn't
Strider.
necessarily look very good. You know? Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
This isn't just happening at the companies that Tesla's chair, Robin
hyena.
filed to sell $52 million stock this year, the first sale since 2022. Some of the
See that, 621? The Strider's blowing itself up. A fitting end for something built to fail.
The downturn followed underwhelming output from dividend companies, along with a bad job output. Intel lost more than a quarter of its value this Friday after announcing plans to slash headcount and capital spending as it suffered further setbacks in its slowing plan.
Well, it's because NVIDIA is doing all this AI shit and people are putting a bunch of money into NVIDIA. Because nobody knows where it's going to go or what it's going to do, but everybody just keeps putting more and more money into it. No, that's literally what it said in the article. Has been unsuccessful in efforts to cash in on booming demand for artificial intelligence chips. That's literally what it said.
Its price is below where it traded in 1997. Other semiconductor stocks like ASML and Tokyo Electron fell too.
Intel is also crashing. It will.
Microsoft's
Yeah.
AI-fueled cloud growth fell short of investor expectations earlier this week, and the stock is down about 11% over the last month, but it's still up about 10% year to date. The scale of capex by the big US tech companies, based on a belief that AI will transform the world, amounts to the biggest and fastest infrastructure rollout in history, according to the Financial Times.
Yeah, that's what everybody's trying to do. Like, because you see all these companies, like you see Twitter, like every single one of these companies is trying to, they're trying to make their own AI. It's like everybody wants to put their flag on the moon first. And that's the real reason, right? That's why, like, Microsoft is, like, buying companies, like, shit like that, OpenAI. Like, it's the end game, yeah. Because, like, they think this is going to be really big, so they want to be the ones to capitalize on it, which makes sense. Spot on. Yeah, that's clearly what's happening.
Big tech is
That's why they're
expected to
investing so
spend
hard into it.
$500 billion over the next 2 years, much of it on data centers powered by NVIDIA GPUs. From a financial perspective, we have to ask who will benefit from this spending and when will the returns on investment start rolling in.
Yeah.
Researchers from MIT argued in a recent report that the technology isn't designed to solve the complex problems that would justify the costs, which may not decline as many expect. The Economist wrote last year about how the big tech firms were no longer showing off at campus recruiting events at top US colleges like Berkeley. Students who
Probably because they also don't need to, right? If you're trying to cut costs, why would you go to somewhere like Berkeley? Everybody knows that Google is there. Everybody knows Facebook is there. Like, yeah, there's no reason.
hoping for internships at FANG companies were now talking to firms like Juniper Networks, an ancient company that had been founded all the way back in 1996.
Main
They
system
report
activating
that
combat
some
mode.
computer science majors have had
Commence mission.
and those with job offers
We'll start
have
by
had their
clearing the way for Archibus.
back. Apparently,
Take out the
students
Gatling
are now
cannons protecting the city,
able
and the Baus Tetrapod MT further in.
Yeah, I wonder
There's heavy
why.
fire
Yeah,
coming
that's
from up top. 621. Keep an eye out for cover.
You'll never climb the wall, corporation dog! Coral! Abide with Rubicon!
Gatling cannons destroyed. The friendly MT squad will take care of the city. You take care of the Baus Tetrapod MT 621.
We're under attack! They're in the city!
Force to that! We stand as one!
Could spread across other
Die,
industries.
mercenary!
Well, of course they are. It's going to happen everywhere. This is 100% what's going to happen everywhere. Why would they hire somebody if they could have a machine? That's the reason why. Like, that's why, like, apparently, like, web design and graphic design is getting completely gutted. It's because why do we need to pay somebody to do Photoshop if all we need to do is feed it through a program and it creates a product that's basically the same thing? Like, why would you want to do that? Yeah, like, yeah, and this happens, right? Because if you look at like Martin, that's
Number one.
and now it's a totally different topic.
Baus Tetrapod MT
It's like, for
eliminated.
example,
That
I
significantly
know that a lot of
reduces the threat in the
drive-throughs do
city.
this. They have AI that takes your order.
Access the bulkhead and break into the wall.
Or like they have like assistants with AI. A lot of cases, a lot of things like forbidden. And so yeah, thank God, right? Yeah, exactly right. Because the AI is better than the person in a lot of cases. It's like I feel like at Taco Bell, the way they decide who takes the orders is they have each one of them speak English for 5 minutes. Whoever does the worst job, that's the person they put on the line. I don't understand. So fucking annoying. I have to explain to people that, oh my God. Yeah, exactly.
So why did the big firms do so good? Well, a big part of it is just fire. Are layoffs the best move in a challenging business environment, or is there something done? Well, they could have announced goals to increase margins, for example, to shore up the stock, but then they'd be held accountable for achieving
Yeah, of course.
when they announced layoffs.
I think they're getting rid of people because they don't know who they're going to have to get rid of. I feel like with AI and the innovations that have come in the last like 5 years, it's probably cut out jobs that a lot of people didn't predict or didn't expect to have come out over. And because of that, they're not going to overhire because they don't know what's going to be completely invalidated in like a year or 2 years. I think that's what's happening, right? I mean, that's
They get to do that for management. Hey. So if, as the economist says, big tech no longer wants where do they go? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the majority of the tech jobs in the United States are not.
Here's the reality is that a lot of those jobs are not the same as like there's not going to ever be a job again to turn a bulb to put a fender on a car. Like that's not coming back. It's not going to happen again. There's a million jobs like human beings used to be calculators, right? There used to be computers. Now we don't have that because we have calculators. There's just a lot of these jobs that are just not going to happen. They're not going to come back. There's not going to be like a, oh, well, eventually if people are going to want it, yeah, of course you're going to have like little, you know, but for the most part, this is lamppost lighters. Yeah, there are people, like, think about whenever people have like horse-pulled carriages, how many different jobs there were associated with that.
Two
How
repair
many
kits
people needed to
confirmed.
be
We're
blacksmiths to
inside
make
the wall.
horseshoes,
Be
to
prepared for
put the
close quarters
horseshoes on,
combat.
to pick up the dead horses from the street, to clean up the shit from the horses. All of these things, you don't have them.
Do you read me? This is
They're
V4
like
Rusty.
a fraction of what they were. Like
You're
before,
fast.
100%, now
Guess
it's
you're
80%.
sharper than they say.
Well, I think that's
I'll have to
happening.
step up my
skill jobs.
is an
I
elite.
miss seeing minimal skill jobs.
Remember, even
still
Balaam
have
couldn't
minimal
crack
skill
the wall.
jobs, but
Don't count on him too much.
Physically involved. Like you'll have a minimal
Enemy
skill
attack!
job
Can you
of
send
like
backup?
moving things.
We're taking too much fire!
So yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like being a manager is a skill job, but I don't really see a robot being able to take that over in the next like 10 years. I could be wrong.
There should be a lift nearby. The target is close.
Yeah.
We now hear entire pump power. Some of the recently laid off workers might opt to start their own companies too and bring new products and ideas to the market. Most of today's tech giants grew out of the ashes of the dot-com bust. If you found this video interesting, you should watch my video on what's happening with electric vehicle sales next. Don't forget to check out our sponsor,
I've dispatched a supply
Electric.org,
Sherpa.
using the link in the description. Have
Make
a
sure
great
you
day.
resupply.
And see you in the next video. Bye.
This guy's really good. I've watched his videos before. He's like he actually.
That's the
used to work
Juggernaut.
in
Heavy mobile cannon. I wouldn't recommend taking it head on. It won't be able to keep up with steel hands. I'll distract it while you hit its blind spot. Watch out. It's coming. That's the stuff. Walter knows how to pick 'em. This is V4. Understood. Raven, just got an update from Snail at command. We've got enemy reinforcements incoming. If I don't intercept them, we're both toast. Hate to leave you like this, but you'll have to finish without me.
Like, there's no way it was gonna have an actual work. Yeah, 100%. So, watch the Space Marine 2 video. It's too
Confirmed.
long.
Juggernaut destroyed.
People are just a liability to the company.
Operation Log
They are a
Climber is a
liability. It's like, you know
success.
those girls that were like
That pilot,
doing the
Rusty.
dancing thing, like,
seems he
you
knew
know,
who
like
you really
Millennium
are.
Core or something like that.
It
Like,
won't
I
matter.
wonder what
taken that
the
contingency into
executives
account.
and the actual, like, you know, chief engineers see that, and they're like, who are we gonna get rid of? I don't know. You know, Gen Z streamer in a mini? Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna last for very long. What occupies the space of low-educated jobs, universal basic income? That or slavery. You know, slavery could be another option. Obviously, we've tried this in the past. I think that, like, you know, we could opt for a softer version of slavery. Something where it's like, you're not really a slave, but they do own everything about you, and they control where you live and everything. So, like, you're kind of a slave, but you're not. Like, I think it's more like feudalism, right? So you're going to work in service of somebody who has a means of production, and then that person will then allow you to live for different ways. This, you know, we had like kind of a soft version of this, very, very soft version of this with Henry Ford, right? Where he built houses and housing divisions of people to live there. I think this is a very interesting idea, and I think obviously we'll probably see a lot more of that happening. It's serfdom. Yeah, it is. It's serfdom, and that's probably what I think is going
Main
to happen.
system activating
So
combat
yeah,
mode.
totally sounds like minimum wage. Yeah, but like it would be
mission.
more
Stop the Rogan
all-encompassing
Liberation
than
Front's
minimum
transport
wage, right?
helicopter.
So you're gonna see that happen a lot.
We appreciate your support, Raven.
I feel like
We have to rescue our captured comrades. Failure
you know, like
is cause of an option.
slavery. We could see this making a really big comeback. Right? It fell off for a
We're
while
under
because
attack!
nobody wanted to
Deliberate
do it.
front chopper!
But
And
when
an
you've got a bunch of
escort
people and they're not doing anything,
must be here for their
there's only
friend.
really two things to do. You either
Intercept.
have to kill all of them, or well, you can pay half of them to kill the other half. I think that could work, right? We could see something like that happen. It seems like it might happen, right? With like the Israel-Palestine, there's some bombs, and maybe we have that happen, right? Civil War II. Everybody loves a good sequel. So yeah, I don't want to go back. Yeah, well that's what it could be. The Hunger Games, yep, slavery is too expensive. I know, and that's why it's
Planning
soft
inside
slavery. Because
Commence the extraction of
you don't
comrades
want
to
to
the
own the person because it's a lot of work, right? So
Secure
then
the
you just
area.
basically have them responsible for themselves, etc. And I think that's really where things are going to go. Now, the reason why it's going to go that way is because nobody understands. Then the problem with like average citizens is that they're so stupid that they can never see the outcome of anything outside of what they're currently looking at. So they don't understand precedent. They don't understand what type of like behavior this could promote. They don't understand how, oh, well, if we do this now, it's going to have an effect then. So what happens now is we see, I'll show you an example right now. We are all celebrating all of these people losing their jobs because their jobs were bullshit. They're losing bullshit jobs in the tech industry, right? Oh wow, all these people are losing jobs, W, right? Yeah, big W, but where are they going? Right? So like we celebrate the exact same thing. The exact thing happened, and this is the best way to do it, right? Is you have people pitted against each other based off of social issues, and then they never actually look and see who's actually taking advantage of them. So yeah, they took our jobs.
Landing in Site B.
Genocide, yeah.
Extracting
And so
comrade
what they
message.
have to do is, you know what?
Raven,
That's how it's happening. So
Enemy sighted.
Folks on the chopper, shoot it down!
Don't let them go.
The
They're intel on the well.
dismissive learn to code, when a person uses the automation, oh, go learn to code. Well, now the coding is now they're and they're being paid less. Now it's learn how to weld. Now it's learn how to be a plumber.
Extracted
Do you think
comrade
they're not
message.
going to be able to figure that out soon?
We're too late.
Well, it will happen. So learn how to beg. Yeah, exactly. Learn how to be
Heading to the last site. Just a little more,
from
Raven.
people that are lonely and think you're their friend in real life. You know, that's what
Wells
you
of
need
the
to do,
Rubiconians
guys. Let's be
lifeline.
honest. That's the real
You must have
solution.
refused to talk.
Not true. Lots of people in here are not programmers. Well, what I'm saying is that because class consciousness and class warfare is so popular in the United States, the elite can always rely on the poor people and the middle class people. Like the poor people hate the rich people, or sorry, middle class people more than they hate the rich people. And the middle class people want to be the rich people, and that's why they hate the poor people, because they don't want to be without them. So all they have to do, and by the way, this will never change. This will never get better, because most people are so stupid they can just be taken advantage of like animals. So this is not going to ever change. So it's just going to keep getting worse, and you're just going to see people's human rights be removed. You're going to continue to see people like losing autonomy. This is just the way it is. And you can't stop it because it's fundamental to the human condition. That's it, and they're happy with it. Yeah, and they'll celebrate when it happens to somebody else. They'll cry when it happens to them, and they'll never realize the connection between the two things. They never will. I understand that you think, oh, well,
Father
they'll
of mine
figure
has
it
been
out.
extracted.
Thank goodness you're
No,
safe, Father.
they won't.
Coral abide with
They never
Rubicon.
It's sad, but there it is.
You
That's
don't
what I
know
think.
what you're saying, girl.
Repower temptation. Yeah, exactly.
There'll be
It's
nothing
like, what's the
left
problem with doing all the work and
but
saving you
dying
for
embers.
someone that's making 200K a year? Well, I don't know.
Mission
1
accomplished.
second. Do you hate
Leaving
humans
the
or are you
combat
just
area.
realistic? Both. I'll be right back.
621. New enemy confirmed.
That's a Red Gun's AC.
Welcome to the Rad Show.
Escorting
Which
a
is
prison
pretty much
break
a
all
guaranteed to be a
alone.
disaster because if you make fun
You're
how the
daring.
Senate was
Give me
done,
that.
and
I've fried bigger fish than you. It's gun 2-9. Red Gun's deputy commander. And the brains to Michel's muscle.
It's too dangerous to force our way through. Secure the escape route.
AP at 30%.
No wonder Michigan took a shine to you. Gun 2-9 was down.
Almost no
Well done,
gaming
621.
hardware news in our LTT coverage
They
of
won't have
Monkey
anything
Tech.
left to throw at us now.
That was not an
Thanks for the
accident,
support,
but
Raven.
it also wasn't something I can avoid. And so I'll explain that in a little bit more detail later. What else we got today?
The Dolphin Steam launch has been postponed, probably indefinitely. That later.
Confirmed.
And also,
The chopper has
speaking of
exited
no
the
gaming
combat
news,
zone.
Nvidia may be
Mission accomplished.
temporarily joined the $1 trillion.
Raven, a symbol of resolve.
And they definitely did not
But
get
mark
there.
my words, there will be nothing left but dying
Big Fat Gamers. I just realized I have absolutely no way of rolling the intro.
Yeah, Dan's gonna have to hit it.
Sick.
Hey.
The show is brought to you today by something, presumably. I wasn't able to see it, but maybe you guys were.
I'm getting there. Backblaze, Squarespace, and Blackpoint Cyber.
It's been so long since we've done a WAN show on site.
Some
like
advice
this.
before you
It's
go,
the
621.
WAN show, guys, and I am absolutely here for it.
Expect the unexpected.
This is actually just a Starfield.
Yes! It's a hammer!
Okay. Yeah.
It's a hammer! It's a hammer, and it's right between our heads. I am so sore right now and so tired. Guys, as tired as I look,
Main
that's how
system
tired I am. I've
activating
actually
combat
spent more time playing
Commence mission.
badminton than actually like,
Investigate Baus Arsenal number 2.
I think we got. If we
I've been checking the perimeter, and I'm picking up nothing.
Full.
What happened here?
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
It's
I
too
played for like
quiet.
5 hours yesterday, and this is really bad. I realized when I got a group chat
Watch out,
this morning
621.
from the center back home that I'm actually signed up to play badminton on Saturday again.
621. Watch its shots and
Which is
see where they're
tonight,
coming from.
but also I go back to the time when I go home,
course.
so it's like
MDD.
far from now
Stick to
tonight,
it.
but I play every day.
Do you think you're gonna crush when you go home, even though you're sore? Because you're like so warmed up.
Coded comms. Was that mech
You
behind
saw
what
me try
happened
to
here?
go downstairs last night.
Yeah, but I saw you
621.
kind of go downstairs
Continue the investigation.
Yeah.
Found a way to play.
Yeah, so I got injured on the first day. If you see,
Played through it.
and I still played every day. So what would happen was I would heal a little bit at night, and then I would spend the day walking around the show floor, like hobbling around the show floor. You're like, I make it pretty low on camera, so other than the gigabyte booth coverage and the floor systems, I'm like, and so if you look closely at the montage of me running when we did the video,
It's got you in its sights.
Super Micro booth where we had to like go on a test class.
Another one of those stealth mechs.
If you look closely,
Don't let it outpace you, 621.
heavily mitigating that video. So I would hobble around the show
621.
floor,
I
and then
think
I would
there's
go
more
play
than one this
badminton,
time.
injure myself to the point of
Use your skin.
barely being able
Mark
to
your
lift
targets to
my leg
undermine their tricks.
out of the seat. And then I would I've actually had a lot of fun. It's really great. It's so long since I've been in the thick of
Unidentified
things.
machine down.
And you know what? It's funny
Keep
because
going.
I've
Stay
been
sharp.
seeing a lot of comments from people that are like, yeah, Linus seems better. He seems like he's having fun, or he seems like he's chilled out, or he seems like whatever. Like, the content's going to be like this when the new CEO comes in. I'm here for it. And at first I was like, that seems stupid. No offense. Because, you know, one of the videos that had a lot of comments like that was actually the $100,000 Minecraft PC build from Carl Jacobs. We shot that video like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
See, I told you to expect the
We
unexpected.
both went out for a beef noodle soup at like 2:30 in the morning last night. Because that's a smart thing to do. It was really good soup. Anyway, at first I was thinking these guys are just looking for something. But I gotta say, I felt creatively liberated. I feel like I had to just do traditional news coverage, and honestly, I didn't want to, because I could have uploaded the same thing we would have uploaded at Context 4 years ago. But I feel like I feel like that's our headline topic, but I actually
Identified
want
mechs
to talk
destroyed.
about this
Keep going,
other
621.
topic first. And this was almost going to be a rain walk video. I might still write it up and shoot it before we leave, but I want to talk through some of the thoughts that I had just here on the show because
Response.
you guys probably
621.
noticed, right?
Get down and take a closer
We
look.
shot almost nothing this year in terms of PC gaming. Like
No
40
doubt about it.
LTT channels.
It's water.
I mean, Noctua has that really cool offset mounting bar thing, so you can drop it on AM5 CPUs by
It contains faint
actually
traces
moving
of
the cooler
coral.
down to where the
Must have been an
CPUs are
underground
under
vein.
the IHS. And
Mouse was hiding a well all this time.
other than that, our first video was NVIDIA's Grace Superchip and Grace Hopper. Our second video is
621,
Roar
above you.
Systems Cooling, which, okay, if this matures the way that they think they can, wow, it's going to be an absolute game.
3 of them.
But if the view
You're
rates on
outnumbered.
laptop
Pick
videos
them
are
off
anything
one
to go
by one,
you
621.
guys, I'm thinking you mostly care about desktops, and I don't see the desktop in any realistic amount of time. And just from a cost perspective, it won't make sense because you don't need the benefits. You don't need the side benefits. So why are you paying for it, right? Oh wait, Super Micro was one of the other really interesting things of the show. These microwave servers. Did you watch this video? Okay, these are super cool because instead of using servers, and so instead of doing multi-top, they're just blades with polarized PCs. So it's a 3U rack with 8 home gigas.
One unidentified mech down.
7950 X3Ds. So if you wanted to do a high top tier single thread performance, this is it. And you can still, slice them up and virtualize them.
Another. Stay focused, 621.
I don't think we're grateful enough for the visualization. So I think that would be a really interesting thing to do. I think something like that. How would you be a proper visualization support on the desktop?
Seems that's the last of them.
Something that, even if it was
This wasn't a
supported by the
solo check-in
CPU, that
after
big
all.
motherboard manufacturers,
Head back and rest
bringing
up,
it
621.
into their BIOSes. I know ILM and View is something that has been a lot in the last 10 years.
Okay, so it's been a minute, but yeah, like Intel Core 2 Duo apparently had some issues. with
Okay, yeah.
visualization. Locked off.
Yeah, so there you go. The fact that we ended up with that is kind of a miracle when you look at the way that it didn't happen with GPUs. And to be clear, there has been stuff at the show this year that is gamer focused. I mean, we've got a short that I shot for Short Circuit on ASUS's Concept GPU that moves the 12-volt power off of the top. So there's no cable, and it's just got a finger on the bottom. But I feel like a lot of noise was made about how innovative that was from people who don't cover Mac. Because when Apple launched the latest cheese grater Mac Pro, that's exactly how they did the power for the GPUs in it. And it supported cables, so it had female connectors on the motherboard, and you could buy a cable kit, so you could plug like a non-first party GPU into it. You could power it that way. But it just had a slot, an extended slot at the back, and you plugged it in like that, and that was how it was powered. And I'm sitting here going like, I mean, is that really gaming news then? A couple brands showed off even bigger 4090s.
Sweet. That's what we need.
Nice. So Cooler Master did,
Main
and
system
then,
activating
this wasn't
combat
in our
mode.
Computex roundup here, it's not in our notes, but Zeus
No
also did
evidence.
when I popped
If
by.
anyone sees you, handle it.
We have a mock-up of a Noctua edition cooler that has 140mm fans. Noctua's new 140mm fans. So it probably performs like a hot damn. But it
Code
is
1-5, Allied, intruder sighted.
Colossal. We're gonna have a tweet going up.
It's
with
just
this,
one
like,
AC.
classic,
Who are they with?
like, a regular size
We can look into that later. Engaging. Code 7-8, requesting backup.
But really, the big news, the
I
big
can't get through to
innovations
HQ.
are in the data center.
Cavalry
They're
isn't coming.
in, you know,
Wipe them out, 621.
Intel showed nothing for consumer desktop. NVIDIA showed nothing. When was the last time that happened?
Confirmed. Enemy
at
squad destroyed.
Computex?
Move on to the next area.
Yeah, that's rough.
And not even consumer desktop. I mean, we're not even
Where did that
seeing,
AC
we're not
come
even
from?
seeing
What happened to the
There's
patrol
hints.
squad?
There's hints that there's
Code
a new
1-8,
weapon
all
patrol.
units deployed for combat.
You're exposed to snipers from all quarters.
Or is it going to be Dread Ripper
Keep
Pro,
moving or they'll
which
shoot
is
you
priced
down.
for professionals and is not really going to be applicable to gamers at all anyway, because motherboards are going to cost $1,300 like Dread Ripper Pros.
Yeah.
Code 31C, we've
Serious
taken
Brad
critical
says, I'm
damage.
so sick of NVIDIA this, NVIDIA that. I want to see the
Updating
competition
your
rise
marker
up.
data. Proceed in the direction
You gotta
indicated.
give credit to NVIDIA though. They just keep
You see
kind
that?
of
That's the
killing
watch
it. I
points
guess.
control
I'll
center.
also throw a shout out to
The
Intel.
target's
They're
inside. Make your
Yeah.
way in.
Yeah, they're fine.
Those
It's
price cuts recently are actually like
Is that-
really
yeah,
Sula.
$199.
Pitiful dog. I feel sorry for you. I really do.
I know it's only had
You may have survived a little longer. If only you had a different master.
It's $200.
C1245. Sula. He's an independent mercenary who survived first-gen augmentation. Don't think twice, 621. Kill him before he kills you.
AP at 50%.
We're 619 and 620. Dead? Which ones did I kill, I wonder?
Don't let him bait you. Focus.
What a Gen 4 slot. I hear you make fine hounds with the right training. Shame you'll have to die here.
AP at 50%.
Walter, stay away from watch point.
And for
Confirmed.
game
Enemy AC
design
destroyed.
that pushes the
Forget
envelope.
about him,
And
621.
whether that's
You did good
in-game
today.
physics, or whether it's
Back to work.
much larger scale
Penetrate the control center and
multiplayer,
destroy
or
the
whether
target.
it's like there's lots of different things that are not just more eye candy, yeah, faster GPU, right? And one of the observations that I made at the show is that a lot of the really exciting stuff that's happening right now is in the data center, and
There.
more
Destroy
worrying,
the device in
that
the
data
center.
center tech is not the kind of thing that I'm expecting. And so I want to kind of explain in the past, they've always been, but there has traditionally been this trickle down. So
Main system,
when
reactivating
both
combat mode. I looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bounteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage. Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven.
talking about how important efficiency was.
I've taken your comsync offline. The waves are intensifying. Raven, get clear.
But right now,
Two repair kits remaining.
AMD launched that
I'm sorry, Raven.
video encoding accelerator.
Yeah.
Right.
When talking about things like AI accelerators and whatnot, though, I do think that's actually going to turn out well, because we're
Well-
talking about things like, okay, not in the gaming space, but there's that talk recently about the generative AI that's in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Main system, reactivating combat mode. I've looked into the enemy craft. It's an autonomous PCA craft, Bounteus. You'll have to break its pulse armor to inflict meaningful damage. Pulse armor down. Now's your chance, Raven. for now. The waves are intensifying. Raven, get here.
2 repair kits remaining.
Picking up a massive heat signature. Evasive action, Raven. The enemy can't take much more. Enemy systems down.
PCIe Gen 4.
It's silent.
We clearly, obviously,
Just like don't need it.
do not need double the PCIe bandwidth for our gaming GPUs. And then, you know, storage. Storage is another area where brands are pushing PCIe Gen 5 really hard. But we've shown, and other publications have shown time and time again, that the benefit to PCIe Gen 5, to faster storage in general for gamers, is basically nothing.
Augmented human.
Now, could that change? And then, right, the last point I was going to make is that it's all about accelerators. So whether it's video encoding accelerators from AMD, or whether it's AI accelerators, or whether it's you know, like network accelerators. NVIDIA was really excited about this network accelerator they were showing off that has a 16-core CPU on it or something like that. Yeah, there were comments on the video like, NVIDIA's new network card has more compute cores on it than my entire household.
Yeah.
You know,
Integration
and
program
it's really cool
initiated.
technology. But we
Main
look at
system
how long
activating
gigabit
combat mode.
was the standard for consumers, and I'm sitting here going, is encrypting your network with software and the next 10 years? It's hard to look that far ahead, but I think it does. And so I look at Gen 5.
50 at 30%.
And so we may not
Target
even
destroyed.
see consumer platforms
Concluding
adopt
analysis.
Gen 6 just
Well
over
done.
over the power consumption limitations, or we might see them use Gen 6 but just use fewer lanes for everything as opposed to actually making things faster. Now, where I wanted to kind of pivot the conversation is to talk about and speculate how we could see these technologies being beneficial to consumers. I mean, one area where faster storage is supposed to help, right, is direct storage.
Yep.
But we've seen a couple of direct storage games, and it hasn't really made a difference.
No.
So what's the deal with that? Is it just that these games were not developed start to finish
Integration program.
enough around fast storage hardware?
Yeah, I think there's also the like early adopter thing. Like, you know, when a
Main
console
system
first comes out, look at
activating combat mode.
Tears of the Kingdom
Yeah.
versus the like the there was pretty significant improvements. They're gonna get better at using it.
What else can you do with faster storage? I mean, that's always been something that's baffling to me. You know, when I'm
Target destroyed.
performing some simple
Concluding
operation,
analysis.
my CPU
Well
is
done.
sitting at 4% usage, my RAM's barely touched, and my supposedly 7 gigabyte a second SSD is pinned at 100%, and like I'm not even doing that much. You know, it realistically is the limitation always just going to be the controllers and the NAND flash as opposed to the pipes to them. But let's say they can build faster flash and reduce that bottleneck. You know, what would we do with faster storage? So direct storage theoretically would allow us to do PS5 type things where you're streaming game data directly off of the SSD, like streaming textures. I'd like to see an Xbox like resume, but not just from suspend, from like hybrid.
Integration program.
Is there any reason?
Main system
no,
activating
think about it.
combat
No,
mode.
I love the concept. I just Windows.
Target destroyed. The data will be integrated into Mind Alpha. Thank you for your assistance.
But I'm worried. I think you're right. I think AI games are going to be, they're going to have a moment, and then they're going to go away because they kind of sucked.
Oh yeah, they're all going to be really bad.
And then we're going to find ways to implement it into the handcrafted games.
And it's going to end up being, I suspect the early ones, it's going to be like a selling feature of the game.
Yes. It's going to be like CGI in movies.
Yeah.
Right? Where it starts out as doing CGI for the sake of doing CGI.
Yeah.
And then it turns into, you know, Wolf of Wall Street. Have you ever seen the side-by-side of Wolf of Wall Street shots before and after CGI? Watching the movie, you wouldn't even know how CGI heavy this film is.
Wow.
But there's this helicopter shot of his beach house, and other than the house itself, like the surrounding area looks nothing like the original shot. And there's this doorway that he walks through, and it's on a basically completely different building. And I'm just looking at it going, was that really necessary? but it was integrated in such a way that I didn't notice it.
I wouldn't have noticed at all.
And so if that was the director's vision, then great.
Yeah, like
right?
I suspect there's going to be some AI
Main
procedurally
system
generated dungeon
activating
crawler
combat
which
mode.
exists purely because
It's funny that you say that
Let's head toward the
because
elevator
procedurally
going to the upper
generated
level.
weapons update yourself Diablo function. And so we might see better that, but it's going to be worse in certain ways. Always worse in certain ways.
it's like going to generate something that like the word for it is similar to something else, so it ends up spitting out the wrong thing and all this other stuff. But yeah, they're going to go too far and then come back and properly. I think they'll be in ways that you don't necessarily notice at times.
Who's this tourist? You think you can
Honestly,
just
that's-
waltz straight in here? Hope you're watching, boss.
Talking a little bit
Leave it to invincible Rummy to show our guest a good time.
Is identified as milestone.
right on the heels of the RTX 4060, where
Hostile
gamers were
AC
up in
destroyed.
arms, gaming media up in arms.
Looks like you're having fun. Taurus.
360 is from a
You know,
competitive standpoint.
R.A.D. loves a good welcome party. Come on in, and let's get acquainted.
Upgrade standpoint,
How
and then
curious.
their stock jumps,
Let's take
25%
her up on the offer,
following
Raven.
day. They briefly hit a $1 trillion valuation. This is alongside Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, and Saudi.
I've gathered data on the woman from that broadcast. through a crew of junk wizards and hackers. Within half a year, she seized total control, greatly expanded their operations.
On this GPU because they just didn't dedicate a lot of like manufacturing to it. Like I think that's it. I think why be price competitive when we don't even have a ton of them because we want those lines to be dedicated towards something.
Kept us waiting, Tori. Told you I love a good party. Well, you're no slouch, are you?
He was able to do with their lower end cards. The 7600 is the most recent one. And I had a meeting with NVIDIA at the show that I guess I should talk about, right? I know it was on the record, so hopefully this is all kosher, but I didn't do that. Basically, here's what I think. And this is not anything that anyone in NVIDIA. This is just what I think from talking to some of the NVIDIA folks, from seeing what's going on with them on a business level. I think that they're here to show up. I think because folks at NVIDIA who work on the GeForce, looking at the kinds of unnecessary innovations that they are slowly bringing on.
Would have been cheaper to just hire you instead.
Blur technology that
They've announced a few things.
yeah. They suggested something I think it's like 1600 hertz motion clarity or something like that. And it feels very
Picking up multiple motifs. Tread carefully.
because we can make it a little bit better, you know? And that's especially true to me because we have those technologies coming down the pipe that are going to make that level of better
Nearly forgot your
on
fireworks.
LCD totally unnecessary, right? And so I'm looking at it going, yeah, these guys in the lab are really
And our turn doesn't cut above the rest.
getting by expectations that media and organizations have possibilities.
Alright, tourist.
Whereas
That's
NVIDIA's
enough.
data center
You've made
business
your point.
or their AI
I
business
surrender.
or
Just not worth the losses.
automotive, right? Or
Come on, I'll let you
their
through. Up along now.
embedded product business, like all of these
She has up her
is
sleeve.
inherently going to have more
Shall
margin
we, Raven?
because your customer is making money. Like a new GPU is a burden because all of a sudden there's all these new games that you couldn't play before.
You're
Now
not
it's
afraid
time
of
to buy and play.
anything, are
I
you?
don't mean a burden
I
personally.
like that.
I mean a financial burden, right? You're not outside of my
Exactly. Goodbye.
Someone was trapped. The dozers are certainly living up to their
how
reputation.
when something makes you money, all of a sudden, even if you are so much more for it, because so the Japanese that if you make something like the Gray Super Chip, are going to even if it seems completely
Nice. I heard you were good. But the cleaner is going to have the last laugh.
Watch out.
anymore, or shipping all the silicon, should you just be booking all of the AI? That's what I want to say. Is I think the GeForce team really wants to build great
Systems offline. Complete shutdown confirmed.
For quite a while now. I assume you've kind of felt the same thing. You know when you used to go to
Enough,
NVIDIA.com
tourist.
and the like main thing was
Been
drivers.
miserable knowing you,
GeForce
but
drivers,
Yeah.
specifically.
I guess
Yeah.
playing nice
Now,
is a smart
like,
choice here.
even if you go to GeForce.com,
You wanna go
which
up
just
top,
redirects
right?
to NVIDIA.com/GeForce,
Let me show you the way.
there's
Guided
like the
tours
GeForce
Cinder
section, but then there's
Carla
another
herself.
banner above that, just like making sure that you don't forget that there's a separation between GeForce and NVIDIA, and you can go to the main menu
Of
for that,
NVIDIA.com.
which has nothing to do with GeForce. Even when you're on the specific GeForce page, they're like, just in case you didn't mean to be here, we got you.
Product Solutions Industries.
Yeah, like I've always felt kind of weird about the NVIDIA site for a while now.
And
because of that.
and this really ties into what I was talking about before, where it used to be that the innovations that NVIDIA would build for their data center products would benefit gamers, would make their way down to gamers. But we've actually